Hey everyone, it's Ross from Mythic Mountains Folk Tabletop Club. What you're about to see are the ongoing adventures of our years-long running Rappan Athuk Mega Dungeon campaign using swords and wizardry, a retroclone of the original D&D game. Like, subscribe, and share if you wish. You're welcome to join us, and we hope you enjoy. It is miles beneath, a demon-haunted maze that once swallowed a crusading army, the legendary Rappan Athuk, the Dungeon of Graves. A handful of iron-thewed men risk their lives, their very souls, to plunder and explore, to stop the creeping tendrils of chaos. This is their story.
Not yet over. Dark and Tide continues to cling fast to this earth. The air is alive with a biting cold that clutches at you every time you go outside. And the air within is always a bit too warm and a bit too thick with the scent of men. As you travel you spend very little time traveling about town. Most of it spent at home, recovering from your adventures. And travel from place to place is, after all, quite difficult in this weather, even within town. Not necessarily in the sense of you might not make it. You'll make it. But in the sense that you'll arrive there fatigued and well ready to go home again. At this point. But there is always one place where you're welcome, which is worth the journey. The Bristleback Inn. The Bristleback Inn is a place where the hand of Kayden, and Magnus specifically, are long welcome. It's a place where old debts for good works are paid forward to you over a long period of time. Amelia Bristleback has not forgotten the good deeds done to her and hers, and the protection which was granted by the legacy which you embody. And so here you are always welcome. Here you are always heroes. And you've come together once again to plan your next adventure, to wrest forth fortune and glory from the chaos-tainted lands to the east, south, and north of Kayden's Rest. The broth is hot. The stew is thick. Barley, little oats of barley bloom in the stew, thick as beads. A hearty meal. AJ, gather your troops and tell me the plan.
All right. Perderi gathers everyone around one of the tables with a bit of loose parchment and quill, and kind of, or no, we have maps, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he'll use a map of the area, and he'll gesture to the south to where there's a tiny scribbling of a dragon near the river that leads south to Anne's Redoubt. He says it's been a long time since we've traveled to the south. We've spent much time cleansing the cloister, and I think it's high time that we make our presence known in that area again. Though the snow is thick and the weather limits what we can do, he points to the cave where the river flows into. Says, this here is an unknown. We've been pushed back from the terrible dangers deep underground, but this is relatively near the surface, and I hold hope that there can be treasure found there. But to that end, I was hoping that we might receive a little bit of clarity. Zoltan, would you be willing to procure a divination?
Yes. I know feeling nervous about the incense bricks that we have acquired, but they should be legit.
Magnus.
What makes you
would-
nervous?
Can't quite put my my senses on it.
Magnus, would you be opposed to us taking this to your tower?
Taking what to the tower now?
If we were to use these incenses, maybe a
For the
place where
purpose
magic
of-
could be contained.
Well, yeah,
Are
you
you
probably don't
worried?
want just anyone getting involved in this ritual.
Quick question. Is our newcomer also present in some capacity?
I would believe so. Now, there's two ways we can handle our newcomer, Simeon. If you like, you can introduce yourself. If you prefer, I can have you referred to the party by a NPC with pre-established relationships with them.
Actually, the second option makes sense to me.
All right. Simeon is introduced to the party by Reverend Christopher. Remind me the name of your druid of
Miss Edith Young.
Yes, as an associate of Edith Young. Edith Young, I believe, is known to Colin, and thus likewise also to Simeon, as a senior druid in the area. She would introduce Simeon to the group and vouch for his good character, and the fact that he hasn't yet been chased out of the peninsula by an irate Father Bloombad, wearing a mask across half his face, is also indicative of his good character. And thus I introduce to you the wise and surprisingly strong Simeon, a druid initiate.
Simeon will bow to everyone and present himself. Say, glad to meet you all, and I hope I can be of assistance.
Under the conditions of winter, you certainly can. Someone who has experience in wilderness survival, albeit not quite as much as a ranger, will be helpful here.
Zoltan just leans back and puffs a pipe in human guise, sizing him up.
He's got great big bushy hair. He clearly doesn't cut it very often. And a big beard. He looks like he came right out of the forest.
The big
Young
fluff.
spear.
Anyone willing to go below with a good will is valuable to us.
He doesn't have a spear. Get this guy a spear. He can attack from the second rank.
He's got a spear.
I
Yeah.
got the spear.
And a sling if I need.
And what level? Is he starting off? Level
One.
First level.
Right on.
Yeah.
He should advance quickly, though.
Well, yes, exactly.
In one way or another,
There
right?
will be either sinking
Alright.
or swimming.
All right. Yeah,
Alright.
that's fine. You can bring your activities to the tower, but let's keep it in the laboratory. That's in the basement. We'll move Rex down there with us, and we can just all have a nice little weird convocation.
Very well.
Thank you for the
Rex is the dog.
hospitality. Ah,
Oh, yeah. Okay. And speaking Sealy for a bit, I was trying to put my my actual finger on what about it gave me a weird vibe, and then I remembered that the description which we were given, which was visions of contact with some higher or lower power, and I'm like, that's a odd caveat to add there. So we're gonna see how that works.
I'm sure it'll be
We're
fine.
kinda- I'm sure it'll be fine.
What's
None
the
of
worst?
these-
Why
Like, as
would
long as-
nothing bad would happen? Why would I ever make anything bad ever happen to my beloved players? I love
Um,
them
None of
so
these
much.
powers are to be trifled with.
Yes.
No.
That much is certain. And yet, here we are.
Well,
But this is why I say
Pulling away.
the basement is the place to do these things. If something
It's
bad
true.
were to happen,
that's the place for trifling.
Rex and I will depart through the door. I will place a wizard lock on it and say a prayer for you.
Thank you.
Come back in 2 weeks' time.
Well, that's a little long. I'm gonna get hungry.
would it be a bad idea for Onan to show up just for this one part to have Detect Evil going?
If you're willing to cast it. Like, I mean, it depends on when we need to depart. Like, if you want the spell slot, but like,
mean,
this
he's
seems a
probably gonna
reasonable
stay in
precaution
town.
to me.
Yeah, you can do that. It's fine.
Okay.
10 out of 10. It's okay. All right. The group convocates in the basement of the Tower of Magnus. The dog lashes its tail. Prepare to light the incense. You do light the incense, I presume.
Yes. All right. And I believe that the questions that we are asking are the ones that Praderi outlined in the Otherworld Adventures channel.
If you find them to your liking, I'll ping them back to the front real quick for easy reference.
And my only other concern is that, like, I'm not sure if we need to be messing with that dragon in any sense.
Yeah.
But if they start messing with us, then perhaps we will need some information, some insight.
It could be useful to know its name for the purpose of gathering rumors about it.
True,
Is
true.
Kind of my thinking along those lines.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. Like, if we hear about a name, then it'll probably be associated with.
The Lotan sinks into a trance.
Uh-oh.
His serpentine body writhes gently in the air. His pupils wide. He sinks into a vision. Around him, the universe becomes dark. And then gradually, he recognizes a shape at the edge of it, coming into view. An iris of some profound and vast eye in which he is suspended in the pupil. A tremendous amphibioid gaze, staring into his. Make your inquiries.
Oh boy. All right. If we begin from the cloister, which we have seized ownership of from, I believe, your followers, where is the closest undiscovered source of treasure or magic items reasonably managed by a group of our average stability? Struggling with the words we all wrote down.
It's fine. One moment. I'm checking my notes. Decent.
Attention.
You're listening to the throat singing, right?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Oh, you should. It's spooky.
Atmospheric.
Do I need links to join in for that?
No, they just get posted in Otherworld Adventures.
Deeper within the cloister. Go farther in. Enter into the Tomb of Swords. Lay your throat against the edges there. Dare death at those who have been entombed. Triumph and grow wealthy. Die and feed my ancient servants. What's your next question?
Write it down.
Actually, yeah, we did write it down.
Okay.
The name and nature of the dragon.
Yes.
Yes.
The ones
Lay
that we
your
saw
throat against
flying
the-
south of Kayden's Rest into and out of
I think-
the crevasse that we found, the underground
think-
waterfall.
I think it was lay your throat against the edges there. Was that it?
Mm-hmm. I will say, I'm being more metaphorical than usual.
Yeah,
Like,
understood.
just don't interpret this too literally.
No, this is great.
Except
It's
for
too late.
okay.
It's too late.
This is
Okay.
awesome. I
No,
love
no,
it.
he what? No. He
The
wants us.
newcomer.
It just means he wants us to die.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The newcomer of which you speak, the whelpling Aragnak, dwells on a newly risen isle off the eastern coast, where she looks with envy upon the green lands that have been denied to her. Your third question. Okay. You're gonna have to make a judgment call on 3B.
Yes.
It would be 3A, I think, right?
I wasn't
or do we
sure
wanna
what you
do
meant by the
3B?
point here. All right. If you think point,
If question 1 references the cloister, or if it references someplace else.
it does reference the cloister, I think.
It does.
Yeah.
In 3B.
Well, no. Hey, I'm sorry. 1 second.
I'm not sure if I understood that.
Actually, let me clarify.
Sorry.
The question 1 was meant to ask for a new overland location rather than a new location within the cloister. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Well,
I guess-
it was
well-
actually no. It could have been inside or outside. We were just asking. Once we are standing at the cloister, where's the biggest source of treasure? Where's
For
the
a
biggest
group-
nearest source of
yeah.
treasure? So
For our
if-
abilities.
yeah. So if there is one in the cloister, then that's what we're after.
Yeah, and let me clarify for 3A and 3B. That is, if it points to if the answer to number 1 were to have pointed to the cave that the river flows into.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sorry for
So
the
it doesn't.
confusion.
So okay.
So yeah. So if
Alright,
it
so-
doesn't point there, so then I think 3A would
Right.
be appropriate. But if
I'm
you
asking-
prefer
I'm
to
asking.
ask 3B, that works.
How far must one travel into the hole that the river flows into just south of Kayden's Rest to find great treasure worth at least several thousand gold?
no more than 400 feet.
That's not bad. That was our third question. I will just stare at this creature and try to discern it, hold its attention until it leaves. Not blinking first.
Staring contest with the ancient.
Staring contest with the ancient frog god. You can't you can't show weakness.
That's the video title.
You remain in the staring contest until you blink, at which point you wake up.
Damn it.
Sorry, but like
I
when
lost.
it comes to
I
patience,
can't beat the frog, you're right.
Wait. As a quaddle, do you blink or do you have the translucent films?
Well, according to this, I have nictitating membranes, but I think that still counts.
I'm afraid it does still count.
Dang.
The detecting of evil does in fact detect some evil power. Whatever it is that he's grappling with, it's not super friendly.
I think I figured that out on my own.
Yeah, but I figured Yoann would also know.
Right. That's 400 feet.
Does
Okay,
any
so-
evil linger within test?
No, he's good.
Okay.
I will within Test. There's definitely within Zolatan, probably not.
I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry.
He's right, but you shouldn't say it. All right, I relay what I can remember of this information to the others.
Right? You can remember all of it. It's fine.
Okay. I think I might have missed writing down part of that, but we can confer with the video later.
What if Richard just said you forgot it all and nobody else gets to know?
Well, then we'll check with the video later.
then I think people would rightly be annoyed with me.
Yeah.
Sorry, is there a Foundry link?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, there isn't yet. It's the usual
It's-
spot. Let me spin
It's
one up real
pinned
fast.
too as well in the main chat.
Yeah, but it
Right,
can be
that's
hard to
right.
remember. Hang on a minute.
I'm just gonna. Here, I've done it also. Okay, I'll delete mine.
You guys think we should also seek out more mundane rumors?
Probably, but what would we
Um,
even ask about? So we've
It's-
got.
I gotta be honest, man. It's bad. It's bad rumor season. It's very
Yeah,
cold.
no one's really coming in and
people
out.
aren't going around and sharing tales.
Though,
Semyon would
maybe-
Semyon would
yeah.
know that the eldest power in the region of his people is the Wolf Woman, who like it's never been totally clear what her relationship with the natural powers are, but it's been kind of established that if she's not a druid, she's something druid-esque, and she is continuing to guide and cultivate and lead and serve the wolves that dwell in the forest to the south. How they are
Alright.
surviving under these circumstances is not 100% clear to you. As you would imagine that lacking game, they would not be thriving. But apparently they have some source of game.
Good berries.
I think
I'm not that classless.
seeking out rumors would be something best done to spend the idle days here.
I don't think Zolatin was here when we last heard that name that was mentioned, so I don't recognize it.
The
Aragnak.
what's her name? I think that's the first time we've heard that name. Am I mistaken in that?
Zolatin doesn't know.
I don't remember hearing that name before. If I have, it's been many months. The reference to the newcomer means it must be some sort of new pretender god thing. That's
True.
Yeah, this
so
is-
by
this
the
is in
standards of the
opposition to
frog
the
god,
ancient
all this
frog
is
god,
new.
right?
at least in this frog god's eyes. So that's interesting, I suppose, but it gives us a sense of what kind of thing we might be dealing with if we were to go. It seems like a long way to go right now in the winter to an island. I don't know.
Yeah.
A storm
had-
sounds like it would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
It'd
It
be a
would.
short nightmare at least.
Yes. Well, yeah.
This does
Pleasant.
not reassure me.
It wasn't meant to.
No, we've dealt with the cold before, and never again. I'm just not. We had no choice. We had no choice. We teleported ourselves outside, and it was bad news.
Hang on, I'm gonna
Um,
real fast.
we lost. Yeah, we lost at least one PC in that
Mhm.
situation. Anyway,
How much would it cost to buy ropes and climbing supplies sufficient to delve into that pit?
400 feet.
Is
Let
it
me check.
400 feet to the bottom or just 400 feet?
Well, just like what length of rappelling are you planning on?
Well, it's a wholly new, unknown area, so we would need a decent amount of rope, but we'd
you'd
also
need like 1,000 feet of rope because you want to make like an actual ladder, like with some actual supports to it and stuff, like not just a single rope.
well, that and the raising and lowering of sacks of equipment.
Actually, hang on a second.
Oh,
I'm being
yeah,
reminded
block
of
and
something
tackle.
important.
Block and
Yeah.
tackle.
That does exist in this setting, though it's probably fairly expensive. Is it in the rulebook? It might be. I generally can't. There's.
Don't recall.
Yep, it's in there. Block and tackle, and then rope.
I have gold for the block and tackle.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. If you clear out the local store's supply of rope, he will be completely conducive to this, as he will subsequently raise his prices next year. But hey, works for him. If you want to buy 1,000 feet of rope, that's all good.
Okay. Perderi will do that. He'll buy 1,000 feet of rope. He'll buy 2 blocks and tackles, 1 to leave on the Myrmidon,
Mhm.
and 1 to take with.
Mhm.
And he'll buy 20 iron spikes.
Sounds good.
And
Magnus.
and 5 sacks.
Okay. At this point, how much do sacks cost? Surprising amount.
Copper, silver.
They actually cost a gold piece. They cost
Really?
an unreasonable amount of money.
That can't be right. Like imagine like stealing bags of like grain and then just dumping out the grain.
Gosh, yeah, a 30-pound capacity sack is 2 gold.
These sacks are actually made of purple worm skin.
We're not.
Oh.
Don't worry about the cost of the sacks. I'm prepared to make.
Oh no,
I mean, who cares?
paying.
It is what it
These-
is.
These are getting added to
they
the
bet-
armory sheet.
They're
So
they're
Okay,
doggone
that's
good.
fine.
These
That's
ain't-
fine.
these-
Go
these
ahead,
ain't-
pay the price. I won't worry about it.
These ain't burlap sacks we're talking about here.
These are
They're
sturdy
high
leather
quality. Yeah.
Sturdy leather sacks. These are
We've been
sacks your
had
life
by a
can depend
wily
on.
merchant.
I'll buy
It-
5 sacks.
Okay.
Damn.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to. How much is the total for this?
I'm mapping out. Let's see, 20 spikes. There's 1,000 feet rope, 2 blocks and tackles, 5 sacks, 20 spikes. What else did I say? And materials for creating fires, because there's a river going into here, and we're going to need the dry off.
Indeed.
I mean, we have those matchsticks that we can always use as like a
That's true.
Those
get a
are
jail-free card of fire.
Oh, true. Yeah, we should bring those with us.
I mean, at least one, right? We have.
I
Like,
have
what,
12
or something?
matchstick.
I was thinking that I wasn't gonna say it.
Let's bring a few. If someone wants to carry those, because I think those work. Even those are like waterproof matches, aren't they? Or no? I don't remember exactly.
You're not
I
completely
think-
sure,
I
but they're
think
definitely
you're
pretty
thinking-
quality.
I
Well,
think
they're
what
the
you're
best
thinking
we
of-
got. I don't know
chunky.
about waterproof.
Okay.
In the same area, we also found glow sticks. I think that's what you're thinking of.
Wrap them up
Okay.
in the sacks. They're so good.
So how much for enough tied lumber to create a couple fires?
For tied lumber, don't worry about the cost at all. The important
Okay.
thing you have to worry about there is that every person, enough for a good fire is like 60 pounds. So
Yeah.
think about the encumbrance. Don't worry about the money.
Okay, that's a very good point. We should bring a sled.
Sled. Man, I don't disagree, but we're gonna be going purely vertical.
To get to and from the
Yeah.
mouth, not to go into the mouth.
Okay. Well,
Richard,
call a sledge a hand cart. Cost 10 G.
Okay.
Richard, I know our maps aren't.
Let me pay for that one. The sled.
Okay.
But somebody else note it down on the spreadsheet somewhere, please.
Okay, Christopher, I'm gonna have to put you on hold for a second because I gotta communicate a
worries.
thing to Magnus. Magnus, you do at some point. Are you gonna check any of your notes for this Aragnac name? You're gonna start rummaging through any of your old papers, try to figure out what the heck that's about.
Of course.
All right. So while you are rummaging around through your notes, you find something that jogs your memory. A note you made to yourself back before you ever met Zolatan, back when the kobolds were running around with you, and they mentioned.
Yes. Yes. Zuvnu.
No, not that kobold. The other kobolds. The ones without the head injury.
Zuvnu didn't have a head injury.
The 3 kobolds, right?
4 kobolds, yes.
4 kobolds.
Oh yes.
Okay,
sorry,
the exceptionally
sorry.
intelligent kobolds.
Yeah. But was that the name of the dragon god?
Zuvnu? No.
No, Aragnac.
Yes. That was the name of their patron.
Yep.
Well, that was where Zuvnu was leading a whole big pack of like 200 kobolds at one point, right, Ross?
Mhm.
That was like the last we saw of Zuvnu. I miss that little fella.
Well, you've got an lead as to where he went. Perhaps.
That's
I will
to me,
only
that's
reveal
great
my
news.
secrets to Richard. Sorry.
That's fine. To me, that's actually a possible opportunity. But anyway,
Good.
Magnus at least has an in with one of their number.
I was trying to remember the deal that you made with those kobolds. back when I was playing them.
I remember you were interested in making contact with their patron.
Yeah, you had like kind of held their feet to the fire to have like an in with that person, but they ended up like just having to go because they weren't really doing anything else. But well, at that point, it's up to Ruse. I'm not playing him anymore. I know nothing of this.
Well,
Okay.
I'll tell everybody about it. You know, that means possibly that is the home of the dragon that we sometimes see in the skies in this region. We may have even encountered him, I have a sneaking suspicion, riding on a horse one day, but that's a story
Really?
for another time.
Big horse.
No, he was not in a dragon's form, of course. Don't.
Oh.
I'm fool, excuse me, I don't mean to be insulting.
It takes Praderi time scratching away at the parchment, but he is eventually able to figure out the prices. So it's 10 gold for the hand cart, you already covered, and then it is 41 gold that he is paying for the rest of the supplies. So
All right,
pretty manageable.
let
So I'm
Magnus.
just gonna you first.
Go ahead. Sorry. Well, how much?
First.
How much
Magnus
gold are you?
first. Okay.
How much gold are you working with, Praderi? I don't want to be indiscreet, but I have 2,390 gold.
I have 2,100, so I can cover this comfortably.
All right, so be it.
So you have the 10 for the hand cart.
Yeah, I did that already.
Okay, and I'll cover the 41 for the rest, and I'm putting my math in the chat right there. Okay, so we have those supplies. I'll worry about adding them to the armory, pending what supplies we're able to bring back with us. What were you going to say, Zoltan?
I was just going to describe my character kind of sulking a little, like, I don't see how a shapeshifted dragon is more intuitive than a large horse.
Well, he was able. In any case, yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, you're good. So, is there any other business that left in town for anyone? Everyone has their winter clothes and what
Them
comfort they
Yeti
may.
Yeti cloaks, yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea what being a druid does for cold resistance. At level 1, I suspect not much.
Wait, Richard.
Yes.
What is this bouquet of grave roses? What can I do with it? I've had some time to look at it.
I'm trying to remember where you found that. You found that within the pit of the cloister, right?
Yeah, and it was dangerous to pick them, I think.
All right. Let me check my notes.
It's not an immediate thing. It's one of those things like, hey, what's this doing on my inventory?
Also reasonable to assume that if you don't ask about it now, you may never get to know.
True. Can you remind me more specifically where you found those?
It was a part of the cloister, wasn't it?
Almost certainly that, since that's what we've been up to the last little while.
It was like we found like
it was
roses coming out of like corpses.
It was in it was on a corpse in a jail cell, if I remember correctly.
Ah, yes. Oh yeah! Yeah, now I remember. Okay, hang on a second.
Perhaps the white roses of Yin. Just looking through the otherworld results.
Okay. And that was in this room. That was here. Yes. All right, yes, the grave roses, which you found growing from one of the bodies here. What can you do with those? You have been able to determine that. I'm trying to think of what. what sort of science you may have done to them.
Yeah. Do they have the essence of death about them? Could I use them to construct some sort of horrible spell that just withers
Oh, for sure.
not only the flesh but hope?
There's only one way to find out, but you think so.
And mix it with a little charm effect, and all right, might have an idea cooking then.
Colin, can you believe this guy?
Why do we fight people who have hope? We mostly fight undead and like frogs.
Well, we also
Did
fight the servants of the foul gods, and they rely on things like hope.
They
That all
generally
sorts-
hope we die.
That's
I do
true.
hope that.
All right, good enough. Thank you, Richard.
You're welcome.
Drawing hope, you guys.
Hey, look. I'm
Oh,
curious. I'm a
That's
wizard.
what
I'm
it
curious.
does.
Anyway,
So the hope targeting is like intrinsic to the roses. Am I reading that right?
he's not sure. He
Oh.
knows that they definitely have deathly essence, and he thinks he could use them for some sort of spooky thing. And perhaps as he explores more of their nature, he will grasp that more as to whether the thing he wants to do is within or without the power of the roses.
In game terms, it is a months-long project.
Yes, it's going to be an ongoing background thing, which he will continue to remind me of again and again until eventually.
Well, if I'm going to actually engage in it, I have to basically retire Magnus for a period of like weeks.
Oof.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, unfortunately,
So-
you've got spares. Anyway,
Yes. Okay.
it is 6:36, so I presume you guys would like to get to it, as it were.
Well, I think of what else I gotta bring.
So I mean, we'll pick up everywhere
everyone-
close you can.
Yeah, everyone.
We all have tools to like make conventional fire without using those limited ones, right?
Yes.
Yeah, those matchsticks ought to be used in an emergency only.
Yeah.
I assume that you guys have, tinder plugs
Tinderbox,
and
yeah.
flint and steel, and
Vaseline covered cotton balls.
you don't have those. You don't have those, but you have mundane tinder. I'm afraid that petroleum jelly is a technology which is simply not available to you.
Well, yes and no. We do have that type of lamp oil, which ahistorically just sort of behaves like kerosene instead of like olive oil.
That is true. You do actually have some pretty highly flammables.
Um,
I don't know if it's sort of like against genre to use it for purposes other than setting enemies on fire. My enemy is the wood.
All right, you can.
Yeah, make sure I got some.
sorry, go. I'm just have the mental image of someone spraying the lighter fluid at a fire that's already lit.
It's not
There
that
is- there
exciting.
was such a
unfortunately.
thing as Greek fire in the time period this game takes place.
Yeah, in Greece.
Yeah, which is where Magnus comes from, actually.
Oh, really? Wow.
Ooh,
That explains the name.
He comes from from the
I
city
don't
of
know all
cities.
kinds of stuff.
Constantinople.
City of the world's desire.
all right.
The floor is
Well,
yours.
shall we be off? Shall we be off? I do think that it could be wise for a couple more people to grab some healing potions and have those on hand. We have how many in reserve? There are currently 12 in storage, so we could bring 2 or 3 more of those. What do y'all think, just in case?
I will record taking one.
I'm
Okay.
going to prepare some healing spells, but I'd like one on me.
Okay. Very good.
Right.
Okay. Then I think that other than that, I think we're good to go. Oh, one other thing I wanted to ask. Magnus, does Monakin want the tomb sword back? Because we have the longsword +1 +3 versus lawful as well.
While you guys handle this, I'm going to nip off to the men's room briefly. Be right back.
Okay. Sorry.
Well, it would probably be useful because it's a magic weapon.
Would you rather Magnus have the +3 versus lawful, or just the tomb sword?
I mean,
I don't know how often Perderi is going to be attacking lawful things. So
Oh wow! I just realized that my character had previously purchased 10 units of lamp oil. So like, if he ever got hit with a fire, he was just gonna go up like a candle. All this time, I didn't even realize.
does
So I don't need to buy
what kind of a weapon is the
long sword.
They're both long swords, right?
They're both
tomb
long
sword?
swords. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Currently, he works with a bastard sword, but it's not magical. So yeah, I'll take the versus lawful one then.
Okay. Cool. Sorry for that. Who has the Ring of Spell Turning?
Good question. If I can wear a ring, then I guess
That's a
I
good
could
question.
take it. But I mean, Magnus is the most valuable character, but I don't know. He's already got some.
I don't
He's
need-
already
I
got
don't
like the
need that.
ring of
Yeah.
protection.
It-
yeah.
I'll just say it
as
should
to
not.
whether
ahead.
the question as to whether Zolatan can wear a ring is strongly dependent on how does he feel about a hole punch and a piercing as it is.
That sounds pretty cool.
Actually, the larger problem is that once you do that, it's not the sort of ring that's meant to be put on as a piercing, so there's no way to thread it through. So, yeah, I'm afraid he doesn't.
Can
I
you wear
figured
it
I
on
just like
too?
put it on my tail or something,
Could wear it like a gauge.
or like put it on, or like stick it on like a flight feather, because those are. Did you know those are rooted in bone? I'm not sure how that works with these, but that's how it works with birds.
Might work.
Did not know that. That's
Yeah, I found out only recently.
Yeah, I just think it should not be Perderi that has the Ring of Spell Turning, because he's often in the way of lightning bolts.
Would be an unfortunate but extremely funny way for Magnus
That's a
to
really
be struck
good
down.
point. I mean, realistically, the spell we're gonna be hit by is lightning bolt. Like, when's the last time we got hit by a spell by someone else?
It needs to be Magnus, because the ring of spell turning needs to be when that finger of death shows up, or worse, charm person.
Okay.
Oh my God! Yeah, can you imagine? Good
All right.
Lord.
No.
All right.
Campaign ended.
Well, no,
I
I could
actively
play a
avoid
charmed.
imagining
I could
it.
play a charmed Magnus. I can do
You
that.
guys,
That's the
listen,
problem.
guys, listen. I know Magnus is scary, but you could take him. You could just beat him up.
Yeah.
You
It
just
wouldn't
get
be
into
that
melee
hard.
range, you choke slam him.
Yeah, I mean,
It really wouldn't be.
like,
that
if he's
Yeah,
standing,
here's the thing.
right there, like he declares lightning bolt, and then we all hit him.
He's physically
Yeah.
strong for a wizard. Don't worry about it.
That would be
He
neat.
can
He's my
fly.
friend.
He can turn
Alright.
invisible. He can read minds. I mean, come on.
Just kick him in the dick. Just punch him. Just listen.
Okay.
No matter how subtle the wizard,
I would like to read
punch
the
to the
surface
snoot will
thoughts of
severely cramp
everybody
his
inside
style.
my laboratory right now.
All right, well, enjoy all those lingering thoughts of weird frog bullshit that I saw.
Oh, you could have second-handed that vision, couldn't you?
With
I guess I
wouldn't-
still can. Yeah, here you go. Now you deal with this. My
Oh,
froggy
God,
secret.
fascinating.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
I'm not sure if yeah. Anyway, yeah.
See,
sorry for stall.
see?
It's almost quarter.
You're right.
till.
You're right.
So
yeah, get moving. Get
we're
moving.
we're bringing 3 of the matches. Let's bring 3 of the glow wands as well, and let's freaking go.
You take the Myrmidons south to the trading post which you have established.
I bet 10 candles on the way out. Go.
Okay, I didn't catch any of that.
Oh, I just said I bet 10 candles on the way out. Go.
Okay, you're candled. You have a brief and unimportant encounter at the trading post with a journeying man from Anne's Redoubt. He's got one of those awesome black stags, which appears to be handling the winter weather pretty well. Nothing to know.
Sorry, I have one more question. I'm sorry, Richard.
It-
Simeon, is there any equipment that you require?
Just the winter clothes, which I think it wasn't on the main list of equipment, so I could buy it, but that's it.
How much would it cost to get 5 winter clothes to add to the armory?
Gosh, let's say 15 GP.
Yeah,
For
that
all
could
5?
be
life,
covered.
but another
Yeah, for all 5.
Okay. All right, so I'll
mean,
put
no,
4 in the armory, and Simeon can have one of them.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
You are now.
Otherwise, I think
You're winterproof for now.
rations, light,
All right.
I got all that stuff.
The first day's journey is over the water as you travel to the trading post. You spend one night at the trading post, recovering and enjoying the warmth of the fire there, and while they fleece you of a bit of your money and sell you some more fine winter clothes. From there, you rig up the sledge and continue farther south, passing over the territory where you first saw what you now know to be Aragnak, flying overhead. You eventually come to the northern tip of the branch of the Wild Edge River, which flows into a crevasse in the earth. The pit is enshrouded on either side by like a 40-foot tall crevasse. As you approach it, the water flow is steady and deep. There is enough of a shore around it for you to continue to follow it to the edge of the pit into which it plunges. The pit is 20 feet in radius, and the light of the sun does not reach far within, but far below. So the question is, how are you going to scout this pit? Allow me to expand a bit more. There is a steady flow of water down the pit, but there is also a large amount of frozen water forming a icy crust along the edge of the pit. Along the walls of the pit as you go down. So there's the flowing water flanked by frozen ice.
I can fly, so that's a start.
I'm going to be handling this a little differently than usual, in that I will be handling it from a sideways perspective. Let me go ahead and activate the sketch. Yes, I'm going to the sketch pad. I'm just going to be scribbling real quick. Ta-da.
I'm so sorry, I was looking up the price of cannabis. Can you quickly summarize that again?
Of what?
Like in the game or just in general?
Canvas.
In game, yes.
Okay.
0.1 GP per square yard.
Oh, of
Just in case you're
canvas.
wondering.
Of canvas.
Yes,
Okay.
canvas.
Okay. I was completely hornswoggled for a moment. All right. So each of these squares is roughly 10 feet, and the river is flowing over and down. And you mentioned you can fly. What are you going to use for light as you shed your human guise and sail into the icy depths below?
I mentioned to Semyon, like, okay, don't freak out. And then I do that. So I'm a huge feathered serpent now. Everyone else seems to find this normal, and I have one of those magic lanterns that we found underneath the cloister around my neck.
That is true. So down you go.
Roderi says to Simeon as he flies down, and says, "Now that you've seen this, you are sworn to secrecy. You must not tell a soul, neither on your travels or in Kayden's rest. This is an angel here to help us."
See, well, I agree. I will not spread this word of this.
Actually, I'm out of earshot, so I won't be like awkwardly downplaying myself.
Yeah, you can shoot lasers out of his eyes. It's pretty dope.
Somebody says not so. Sure.
All right.
Is that a surface of water?
Sort of. Zoltan flies down about 80 feet. About 80 feet, the water, which flows here, splits in two directions. It continues to go down, but it also hooks around this corner and flows into a side passage. A a roughly 10-foot wide, roughly circular passage, which extends far in. Let's call this the south.
Okay.
Whereas another side passage extends slightly upward to, let's say, the north.
I at least approach these and shine my light as far as it can reach into each passage.
Each one stretches beyond the reach of your lantern.
Hmm. And straight down, is it just continue plunging, or is it like hitting more water?
It seems to continue plunging. Let me stretch to the limit of your lantern.
What's the dotted line represent there?
There is a little foothold, roughly 3 feet, jutting roughly 3 feet from the edge, where someone could conceivably rappel down and land, and either scoot from this and also scoot from this side to this other side. I just remembered you can't actually see my cursor.
No, I can see it. I can see it.
Okay, good. That. There is another such corridor down here at the bottom. This continues to extend farther past that.
How far is this distance? Is this proportionate?
This one's proportionate, so this is 50 feet.
Okay. Wow, so I am looking at 5 passages total so far?
Mm-hmm.
Gosh. And where my token is right now, that's somewhere that the whole party could be landed at, right?
Yes. Well, probably not all at the same time, but everyone could
Right.
rappel down and reach this point.
Well, how about would it be safe for people to shelter in either of these side passages? Because I'm not sure how the rushing water influences that, which is also freezing cold.
This one, the water is flowing down this path. We'll scratch that. But this one is sloped slightly down and is dry inside.
Roderi is stripping out of his armor.
In preparation for a rappel?
Yeah.
Armor's super light though.
That's
Oh,
also
that's
yeah,
fair.
yeah.
His
yeah,
armor's super
Yeah,
light.
you're
of
right.
all the people here,
That's a good point.
I will seek a little further down before I return, just so I have a little bit more information.
all right.
Going on down here. What is this dome shape?
This is another lip like the one above, so it should really just be more like.
Oh, so this just keeps on going down.
Oh yes.
Oh man, at this distance, the water must be just splashing everywhere. I'm probably having a bad time already.
Correct, and it extends to the limit of your light and beyond.
Okay, well I will try to avoid being completely inside the splash zone. Poke around, try to get a. Without getting too wet, could I glance to the left and the right here?
Yes.
Okay, well then I will do so.
This passage extends to the limit of your light. This passage, rather than extending to the limit of your light, has a sharp upslope.
That is interesting. But instead of pursuing, I'm going to return to the group. I will let them know that there are at least 5 directions, 4 of them perhaps habitable. Though I warn them about the constant splash of water and how it's so cold.
It is extremely cold. It is, in fact, cold enough that it will be... It is the sort of cold that if you play with it, if you're not careful, you're going to have to start making saving throws.
Alright, well, the most promising thing would be to... Or rather, the path of least resistance would be to rappel down to the first area and then try to clamber up into the dry passage. So just 80 feet down and then try to go uphill. Whether there's anything useful there, I don't know. I couldn't see. I explained to the others.
Any strong leaning one way or another? Anyone else?
I mean, that's the one spot that isn't going to be constantly splashing you with wet water.
And as long as whatever we're dealing, if we deal with anything down here, doesn't like the water, that's probably the main source of travel. So let's do that. Is there a good place to anchor up here? That
Yes.
doesn't involve us standing in the water. Okay.
It doesn't involve you standing in the water.
Oh,
Yes, you're in the middle of a crevasse. You've got iron pythons. You can ground your iron pythons sturdily in the walls of the crevasse.
And it's 80 feet down to the first level,
correct.
Mhm.
and then it's another 50 feet down.
Yeah. And then it just
So-
keeps on extending down, but it's just going to be
Okay.
splash zone.
So, out is two. Okay, so 2 links of 150 rope, to climb down with 300 feet, or no, it would only be another 150 rope on a block and tackle to lower equipment down.
All right.
How's that sound?
That
Does
should
it
be
sound reasonable.
should be doable.
Or I'm sorry, no, you would need 300 because you have to be able to do it from the bottom. So, okay. So that's 600 of our 1,000 feet already accounted for. So
Well, hopefully we can reuse it. By the way, does Magnus have fly prepared?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Now, here's a question: do any of you have experience in knotwork, ropemanship, sea experience, or is this your first time doing elaborate things with a block and tackle?
I think this will be my first rodeo.
Yeah, I never did anything with block and tackle.
Perderi has ownership of the Myrmidon.
That's a
Partial
good point.
ownership.
Okay, that'll do. Good to know. And he's never been more glad for his experience in handling precarious mechanisms of rope in icy conditions than he has been now. As right now his life depends on not making any completely silly mistakes. Who dares scribble on my thing?
I drew rope. Just for putting it out there, I'm using 2 spikes per rope.
Okay.
If anyone else, I only remembered to bring the one hammer that I already have. So if anyone else has a hammer,
It's unfortunate that
Plenty of
none of
those.
you guys have an NPC thief who can have cleverly pulling everything useful out of his pack.
I remembered I have a drill.
You have a drill?
that's right. We have a drill.
He
I have
has a
drill.
When
I
did he
put-
get Chat, when did he get a drill?
We used the drill.
we used the drill, and I still had it on my character sheet, so I just assumed that I'm the one who has it. I don't.
You guys use a drill.
It was to get through this one.
The
Some
metal
bars,
door.
some magic
Right,
bars
right.
that were
Yeah.
the magic spell reflecting bars.
Right, brute force and violence. That thing I always encourage. I'd forgotten.
Right, drill on the thing, because that's a good point. I'm
Yeah.
gonna write that you have it though. Okay.
Cleverness is fine, but first just try to go through. Careful, guys. There's puzzles. Better tunnel through.
All right. So which of these doors are you guys? Which of these passageways are you guys trying to rappel down to?
It is
The
the
first
left
landing.
one, right?
Yeah,
the left one has water flowing through it, so I
Okay,
was suggesting
yeah,
the
yeah.
right one.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah. So there.
Right.
Okay. You're going to have to repel. Hang on a second, Zoltan. I'm going to use you as a little. Can you guys see me
Help.
waggling Zoltan's thing around?
I don't see the waggling, but I just see your mouse moving.
no.
Like we
Okay.
can see your mouse moving.
Okay, if you can see the mouse. So you're going to have to repel down here, perch on the side, and then scoot over in this direction. So that you go over here.
Oh, so it's got to be on the left, and then we move to the right, or
Pretty much, since you guys don't have a way of accessing the right side of this.
right?
Okay, so we could bring the hammer and some spikes down there and anchor midway one of the ropes over there. How's that sound?
Should be doable.
Sounds good, but I don't really know how it works.
Are you leaving? I would recommend. You guys have a thief with you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or do we?
I looked at-
Don't
I
look
looked
at
at
me.
Chris.
Sure, Monacan.
Okay. I'm just saying you probably want someone who's like got a climb stat to handle all these shenanigans. It gives me an excellent excuse to not make you roll dice to see if you die.
Perdari's
Alright.
last trip up a wall wasn't that great.
It wasn't, no.
Uh,
It was more of a passenger, really.
yeah, okay, that was the time I was remembering. It wasn't so much climbing.
Okay. Get all these guys onto the crew. Warp. And Aaron. Magnus.
For reference, Colin, he was adhered to an air elemental and dragged up a building and onto a ceiling.
The best part is, like, the adhering wasn't even... Like, I didn't do that to him. He decided to
Yeah,
hot
he
glue
decided
himself.
to, like, yeah. It's like, alright, I'm gonna wrestle the invisible blade monster. And we're like, alright, dude.
Have
It
fun.
worked. It worked out fine. It was great.
Right.
It was so smart to
No
wrestle the
one
blade monster.
died.
Yeah. Other than those guys, but don't worry about them.
So down you go. And hang on a second. Monacan is also here. Ta-da. So down you go. One at a time. Down the pit. What is your marching order here? The possibility of being attacked while you climb lingers uncomfortably in your mind.
I will take lead because I can just do that and try to be there as people rappel down.
All right.
Perdari will go down as well, so that he can assist with whatever like equipment people have that they would like lowered, so he could assist with doing that, and also Aura.
All right.
And after that, probably our thief, right?
Likely so.
Alright, so the thief in the third spot.
I'll spare you the rest. You're not assaulted during your descent. Just wanted to give you guys some anxiety. You are all dampened as you pass through this area. At some point, you're going to need to take steps to dry off. But for now, well, you've got other concerns. This passageway extends to the limit of your sight. Do you wish to follow it?
Yes.
All right.
Before we do, is there any opposition to dropping a glow rod down this pit to the bottom?
I mean,
Should we use a normal...
we tried first.
Alright, if we use a normal torch, it's just gonna...
We could use a normal
Darker.
torch, but it might sputter.
It will certainly sputter before it reaches the bottom.
Yeah, there's water flowing in here, so I didn't have high hopes for a torch.
I would say we probably don't need to. It's a limited resource that we cannot reproduce.
My only concern is that there's not really a lot we can, like, do with the information. Unless it, like, falls down and it's just coins down there, but what are the odds of that?
I mean, is it a 400-foot hole? I imagine the sound in here is just, like, deafening.
It's very loud. The good news is that probably means that no one's going to hear you coming.
And no one will hear us scream.
All right.
Also,
Okay, so we'll hold off on that. We'll see how we are on the way out and see if we want to do that. So yeah, let's press forward at a normal speed.
Yeah.
I think just
Imagining just, like, getting a roaring fire going and, like, having my character go down and up.
Yeah.
But then I'm also imagining, like, icing on wings
Oh, yeah.
situation, so maybe
that's
not.
true. We do need to dry off. We do need to dry off probably
That's
now.
Yeah, I'll try. Yeah.
Let's go ahead and do that. Let's just spend a little bit of time drying off. Now that
So we,
everyone's down
like,
here.
lowered down all that wood? Did we do that?
Yeah, that's why we have the block and tackled stuff, so we can get stuff down here. I was expecting to have to, like, dry off a few times.
Fair enough.
all right. How many wood charges did you bring with you? Let's say
Because
you.
we're limited by the sled. 4.
Yeah, that is actually exactly the number I was going to propose off the top of my head.
Okay. We'll leave 1 up top, and we'll have 3 lowered to this area right here.
Alrighty.
Neat. Yeah, a little
Set
bit
the
of
flame.
big pain in the ass, but probably worth it.
All right.
Mechanical advantage.
Yeah.
After a prolonged adventure with ropes and pulleys, you light a fire. Or at least you attempt to. Let's see if you guys can get... Roll me a d20. Praderi, roll me a d20. Or rather, roll a saving throw. Let's see if you can successfully overcome the soggy wood.
Okay. That is a failure.
Can I pour some lamp oil on it?
Yes, you can burn a charge of lamp oil to quicken the process.
Aha.
Okay. Through the power of accelerant, you are eventually able to get a fire running, but it consumes a couple of turns, in which you are all quite chilled. The fire extends the limit of your vision. An upward slope stretches. A fairly steep upward path extends far to the right. This is all carved into what seems like frozen soil and stone.
Does it seem a natural tunnel?
No. However, the
Um,
workmanship seems quite shoddy. Shoddier, in fact, than than the tunnels you would expect to see dug by wild animals with wood.
That's pretty shoddy. But it's through stone, right?
Yes.
Well, that's impressive on its own. I mean,
yeah.
but my gut says goblins.
Goblins. Could be.
That is their nature, as we recently discovered. They just kind of pop out of the earth.
My gut says dessert.
All right. Once everyone is dried off, we will make haste moving forward. Praderi will haul one of the lumber piles, ready to drop it at a moment's notice. Should
Right.
conflict arise.
Hang on a moment. Something cool is about to happen, or at least something mildly interesting.
It'd probably make more sense to spread the load of all the wood across as many people as possible.
If someone would like to help carry it, that would work very well.
I can help carry it. I'm hella strong.
Okay. Would Simeon care a bundle of lumber?
Yeah, I can do that.
Awesome. I don't know how much equipment you have or not.
He's got about 20 pounds left before he start to run into encumbrance, I think.
Okay. These bundles are about 60 pounds, so we'll. Did anyone bring any followers? I didn't bring either of mine. So.
Oh, I brought that thief.
The thief. Okay.
And
Would you be willing to have him help Simeon carry the lumber?
Well, Magnus and Monacan are both able to carry stuff.
I just see a squiggling little cursor over there in the darkness. I'm trying to not watch too closely.
What did I just do? Okay, right, there we go. Wait. Hang on a second. I confused myself needlessly.
Very well.
There we are. The tunnel leads leads upwards to a passageway. Okay. Within the tunnel, you enter into what looks like a very tightly knit winding corridors containing peculiar beasts. That look to be intentionally arranged in such a way as to bedevil and to confuse. What's the appropriate thing here? Oh yes, that's what I have these for.
Is this down then up, like actual verticality?
Sorry, I just needed to scribble this thing. It goes straight on an upward slope until you reach until you enter a chamber that looks like it has been intentionally reshaped to contain large walls that divide it into what seems to be a kind of hedge maze.
Have we transitioned to top down though?
Yes, sorry.
Okay.
That's the part I should have clarified explicitly.
How far abouts is the tunnel we've traveled down?
About 60 feet.
Okay.
Probably smelling smoke from the fire since it's uphill.
A bit, yes.
Yeah, I was considering using the canvas to shed that out the shaft, but I was like, yeah, it'll be fine,
Yeah,
right?
It's fine. So it might be useful to note whether it is sort of like gathering here or if it is flowing out some other way.
Good point.
We might also, I'm not sure if we'd be able to like tell, like depending on how large the interior volume is, we might not be able to tell either way.
Sorry, say that one more time.
We're sort of wondering if the smoke from the fire is like pooling here, or if it's like clearly flowing up and into some other exit, or if indeed it's flowing this way at all, or if like prevailing winds pushed it up into the tunnel that we came in through.
No, it is pooling here.
All right,
And
well,
in fact, you can hear deeper within what sounds like what sounds of distressed beasts hooting and grunting in dismay at the unpleasant stench.
Should we form an oil line and try to draw them forward? Or, hang on. Is anyone opposed to pushing this into a fight?
I wish we knew what we were dealing with. Maybe they're just creatures. Maybe we have no interest in fighting them.
I'll vote for talking first, actually. I think that's always a good option.
Fair enough.
Does our magical lantern light pierce into this area?
It does, somewhat.
All right.
Do you advance?
Slowly.
Who's among us has a good charisma score?
I have a good charisma.
All right. Worth calling ahead.
A nice, yeah. A nice 15.
I mean,
I fear
I don't
the element of surprise is somewhat diminished either way. That's all right. We've never needed that.
I'll call out, hark, friend or foe.
The response is a bestial screeching.
Foe
Which
it
rapidly
is.
approaches.
Oh, it's approaching. Battle formation, quickly.
Yeah, is this a good choke area right here?
It is definitely a good choke. It comes.
All right.
Okay.
It narrows from 10 feet to 5 feet.
Okay, we get at the choke where it narrows.
Okay.
Yep.
Get your gang involved.
Do you want to get behind me,
Yes.
Zoltan?
Yes. I mean, I could fight and just it works better this way. That's all.
How high is the ceiling?
About 10 feet.
I ain't
Okay.
scared of no things.
So you could shoot over Perderi's head.
Yeah. She's probably gonna be using a magic missile, so it's like no worries about friendly fire. I think.
Yeah.
Like it's
do
on air.
Do we have time as it approaches to ready an arrow volley?
I think so.
Okay.
Actually, no. Let's roll initiative and find out.
Good point. I don't have. Man.
I think you might actually want to back up a little more than that to get to the point where it narrows from
We
10 to
have,
5 feet.
Okay, that's fair. So we get.
I'm not
more
sure if I'm
people in
reading this
front.
right. But yeah, we're going to
That's
try to squeeze 2 people in side by side.
Yeah. So,
Alright.
man, I think I need to go where you are, Zoltan.
Okay.
Right there. Seem good.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. And that is a 1.
I got great news. You win anyway. Hey!
Hey. No one can breathe on this shit.
It's true. Everyone is distressed, especially the ape creatures, which scamper out of the maze ahead.
Ugh.
They are pale and they are pale furred.
Yetis, maybe. Wait, we know what Yetis look like. Are they Yetis?
They're too small for Yetis, but they do look related. They are stacking up tight and scampering at you
Worse.
aggressively.
Yeti babies.
Oh no.
Oh no.
A child.
I know, it keeps happening.
They're toddlers. Our terror.
Oh,
They're about 4 feet tall. They've got an extra pair of arms sprouting from their shoulders, so
Wow.
they've got a total of 4 limbs. The connection looks a bit ungainly, like they aren't quite meant to have those extra limbs. They move with a bit of awkwardness and occasionally clutch at the walls for support. But they also have primitive mining tools, which look to be just shards of irregular metal, bound to iron staffs,
Oh man.
which they by length of twine and vine.
Oh.
They approach with clearly murderous intent, in that way that apes do, where their teeth go like, and their fangs extend, and they make the world's most horrifying noise.
big smiles.
Big smiles, yes.
Okay. It is a very tight area. Okay, we forgot a step again, Richard.
What's the step?
Spells.
Cat, I'm always doing this.
Magic missile.
Well,
Wait,
okay.
what's the
Well-
spread?
It's a little close. It's a little close and unknown distance for a lightning bolt. I think. I don't know. It's also a little early.
I mean, they're certainly packed for a lightning bolt, but yeah, it looks like it might reflect back where it came. Because you know when you're looking at a mirror at like a 90-degree corner and you always see yourself? I'm
There's
worried about that.
there's definitely it would be a pretty tricky shot to not obliterate yourself.
Okay.
But I mean, do you really like these people that much?
No.
I mean,
It does. Oh, giving him the spell reflecting ring was a terrible idea.
well,
Yeah,
if he casts it and
I'm
it
not-
reflects it, it hits
The
him.
thing is,
so.
they keep me alive, so
Yeah.
I like them well.
Okay, magic missile,
We're useful.
understood. Who else is casting any
Oh.
spells?
Phantasmal force.
Okay. One moment. Some mild battle music.
Is there
Relatively chill.
anyone in the back rank who wants to throw some oil?
I have oil, but I'm already doing my thing.
Monacan is a huge. Monacan is he's down.
Well,
And
Monacan
nothing
has
else
a
to
bow.
throw oil?
That's true. He'd probably rather just shoot guys with his bow.
I mean, I can throw a flask of oil.
Okay, Perderi has some he will gladly offer you.
I will
All right,
also
maybe-
throw a flask of oil if I can see them, or if I can't, then I will not do anything.
Hello. Everyone loves Lorpert. Lorpert, throw that fire.
All right. Is it? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, we only have the 2 spellcasters, really, right? Does Druid have spells at first level? I don't remember.
Yes,
Sorry.
they're just not very
Okay. Okay, so yeah, so I think that's all of our spells, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
good. Okay. So,
I got a 2 if I was trying. Oh, yeah, I got a 2. So I missed.
okay. Unfortunately so. The 9 on your second shot might hit, though.
Oh no,
What
I was just testing something out. Sorry, it was just a 2.
Okay. And that's a fire you're throwing?
Yes, a oil flask.
All right. A oil flask is hurled into the path, but unfortunately it does not catch properly. The oil smothers the fire.
Oh, wet in
Okay.
here anyway, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah, especially now. This whole area is basically like icy stone. Most of the moisture is back behind you, running downhill. But this place definitely has a lot of accumulated ice on the walls. Anyway, so is anyone moving into melee, or are you guys holding position and receiving the charge?
The plan was to receive
Well,
the charge, but you do you.
Yeah. How many more oil flasks are getting thrown?
Sorry,
Right.
Semi, you want to enclose it in brackets. Like that? No, that doesn't work. I don't know how to.
I did slash roll 1d6
okay.
for initiative.
You want to use double brackets. So you want to like open bracket 1d20. Okay, so
Hey, oh, that's a one.
unfortunate.
Inauspicious.
Well, his
Nice.
first
Not a great
the
start.
real first roll was for hit points. That was a 5, so that was fine.
Hey.
Is anyone using bows?
Monacan is using a bow, I think.
Yes.
Okay. If I don't use a bow, I think I'm just giving, or no, they're moving still. So yeah, we'll get melee. Okay, never mind. Sorry.
All right, let's see those shots. All right, that's a whiff. It's difficult conditions. The smoke is
There we
aroused,
go.
but you do tag one.
For 3.
All right. The ape catches an arrow as it charges, giving it pause. Its fellows trample right over and past it. They are a swarming horde. Quite small. They're able to effectively stack up shockingly well despite the choke point. They're literally climbing on top of each other to get at you.
Quite a lot. If one oil went off, that would have been some great value.
Well, you've got more oil.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay, so the one on Praderi directs all of its attacks on Praderi.
Do we get to melee attack first?
That's right, you do. You have the initiative.
Are they one-hit die creatures?
Not quite.
Dang it. Okay.
I know.
That ability
Someday.
just.
It's a real problem.
It's
But-
great whenever you get to use it. Otherwise, it's like, yeah. Okay.
They look like one-hit die creatures.
That'll hit. Their armor class is only 13.
Oops. Hang on. Did I just roll your damage for your flail? I don't
think
know what
so.
else did there.
I rolled it.
Okay.
Oh, you hit? Oh yeah, their armor class is actually 12.
Okay. So that's 7 damage to the one to the right.
That one is immediately killed.
Yeah, I dealt 6 damage to the one closest to me.
This one is... This one is almost killed, but not quite. Is mildly dazed.
And confused?
Probably.
It's not
The middle
true.
one is still here, but it can only kind of reach either of you. This albino ape is going to lose his one attack for being so messed up, but it still gets 3 shots with its hard claws,
Whoa.
targeting
3
Syndarin.
shots.
All right, what's Syndarin's AC?
18.
Then I've got great news. Your armor holds. You are not injured. And this one can only attack twice because it's not really in position. It was going to split its attacks between Syndarin and no, it can attack twice. It can attack. The first 2 will be targeting Syndarin, and the second 2 will be targeting Perdere. All right. Syndarin, as the apes clamber over you, one of them gets a firm hold over your helmet and begins slamming it against your face.
Oh no.
Yes. Opening a small cut on over your eye that bleeds over your face profusely. You take 3 points of damage.
Oh, my beautiful eyebrows.
Don't worry. They'll heal. Probably. Alright.
So 9 times 4. These guys have the... Well, okay, not 9 anymore, but it's got the potential to do some multi-attacking.
Indeed. Now, spells.
Alright. Let me do my Phantasmal Force.
Okay?
So, they don't know about fire per se, necessarily, but they do know about smoke. So, I just create the illusion of a big ball of choking smoke that just pours past us and just smothers them.
Okay. You roll their saving throws.
I should buy that. Let me double check what that damage is. Yeah, I know it. I just always double check. Okay, what's
Here's
what I
the
thought?
first. Here's the first 4. Here's the second 4.
All right.
The back ranks more or less hold a little bit, but the everyone in the front takes the hit.
It looks
So go
like
ahead and
it looks like only 2 of them actually succeeded, unless they have a bonus that I don't see.
Only 2 of them succeeded.
Okay, here we go. Damage 2d6. 10. Wow.
Nice.
All right.
Get choked.
All of these guys, except the rear rank, immediately collapse into violent choking and wheezing, incapacitating them. You don't have a way to mark all of them at the same time, unfortunately. But you can trust that they are all paralyzed by choking smoke. The back ranks, I'm going to roll morale for them, and we'll see how they respond at the beginning of the next turn. Their morale hold, because they are very foolish. Monakin, who are you obliterating?
That's 9 additional damage from whoever needs obliterating.
This guy here?
Sure.
Alright. He is obliterated.
Invisibly
The sound of whistling air fills the room very briefly,
Yes.
zipping from one side to the other, and
And then he simply
soft
falls.
impacts are heard.
Yes. Magnus's magic missiles are invisible.
Quite ominous.
Cause of death, he died.
What happened to him? He died.
Don't worry about it. Only one albino ape remains, and it is too foolish to seek mercy. Rip ape. I shall roll... Before we roll initiative for the second turn, does anyone wish to cast a spell?
I think we got this. I will not use another spell slot.
I'm going to go with that for now.
Okay.
I will agree with this.
I shall roll initiative now. Oh, I rolled a 2 this time. I might actually succeed. AJ, it is your hour.
Big numbers. It works. It works. We
Keeping
win.
the streak alive. All right. Are you going to hold the line, or are you going to move and shoot?
There's only one active combatant left, right?
Yes.
Perdere
Just kill
will
him.
press in. Or actually, no. Yeah, you guys go ahead. Or we can all shoot it, I guess.
All right.
Do you want to waste the arrows?
I can use my sling and just throw a rock at it, see if I can hit it.
Slings work.
Go for it.
mean, it's not exactly zero threat. Like they get 4 attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh, that's a
Manaka
hit.
will fire twice.
All right. Let's see Semyon's damage first.
Nice max damage.
Nice.
Nice.
All right. Right between the eyes.
There we go.
Let's see that follow-up shot. Let's see that damage. Ooh, down it goes.
Excellent. Good work, everybody.
Clean.
Okay. I assume you dispatched the remaining apes that believe themselves dead.
All but one. Do we want to tie one up and bring it back
Oh God.
for Ullman?
Yeah, for Ullman.
I
He
was
pays
going
extra
to
for
eat that
living,
mummy.
right?
I'm just being fussy and disapproving of your continued relationship with this clearly evil person.
Ullman is
And all
not
his-
evil.
He's other.
He's simply not from this. Well, he's a stranger to these parts.
I'll let you. I will let you do as you see fit.
He
But
smells
I do have to
strange.
question. That's true. I do consider the logistics of getting this thing up the winch.
True.
You did bring a lot of rope, but I'm gonna level with you, guy. This guy looks pretty mean spirited. He's not gonna make it easy.
I will leave it up to you, since you're the humans.
Does anyone other than myself feel strongly for keeping this alive?
I think
Not really.
capturing strange creatures is always good. Pretty much always on that end of things. But
You guys paid so much money for those sacks.
You're not wrong. They better be good.
I'm sure the people of Kayden's Rest aren't going to be bothered as we drag in this thing covered in chains and ropes and sacks that are patched together and everything.
I mean, that is the kind of thing that people are expected to do. It's just like, hey, look, we found this crocodile.
At this
Last time it
point,
was a harpy.
at this point, it's kind of happened a bit. I mean, like they just
Yeah.
when you wear the
Remember the
Yeti
harpy?
cloaks, they just stop asking questions. You just don't ask
Oh man, are
questions
they
with
bringing
the
back
Yeti.
a big fish to eat or some god awful monstrosity to gawk at? Oh
What
man,
awful monstrosity!
I hope it's a big fish.
Whoever lives closest to Ullman's hut just has a terrible day.
All right, we're gonna
Cheapest
tie up
real
one of the-
estate.
Okay.
We're gonna tie up one of
Um,
these things.
Yeah, we'll
And the
hog
rest of
tie
them, I
it
guess we
thoroughly.
just-
I don't
Are the-
suppose
are the
anyone
pelts
has.
good? Maybe we should
Did-
I don't know.
Good question. Are the pelts? Do the pelts seem useful?
They are stark white. Albino ape pelts are traditionally regarded as a valuable trade good. Most of them are smashed, but you've got six
lot of
pretty
them
much
only-
intact.
Yeah, a lot of
Yes.
them just thought they were dead, so they're just
Yeah.
like perfect.
Yeah, 6 you can you can club them in the traditional pelt preserving fashion. Chat, I don't
Yeah.
mean to be like this, it just happens.
It just happens.
I mean, it's D&D, right? What are you without a little creature harvesting? All right.
Alright, so we club the
let's spend
helpless
some
animals to
time-
death.
Yeah, let's spend a little bit of time skinning them.
Okay.
You know, as one does.
Well, I think the only person here who knows how to skin a albino ape is actually probably Semyon. So there you go.
Hey,
I'll get to work.
good man.
All right. Perderia
All
will
right.
make himself busy
Are they,
binding up the one.
are they edible? I'm not sure. We got a
Only
fire
one
right
way to
back
find
there. I
out.
don't know.
Probably.
Your palate is surely broader than Perderia's.
True, but I mean, sometimes I regret it.
what we do for a little bit of poison.
Yeah.
Does anyone, while we're doing this, does anyone want to poke in a little bit further?
Sure. I'll do
Alrighty.
that.
In you go. Start navigating. Have fun. I drew a little
Alright.
maze for you.
Oh, what's that?
What's what? Oh, sorry, that's one of the other apes.
What is it? Okay.
No, sorry, I just didn't drag them all out of the area.
Okay.
Anyway, so Zoltan pokes around in there for a while. and eventually he'll get to the end of the maze. And I'll tell him what he finds. In the meantime, you guys are in an area which is kind of gradually starting to fill with smoke. Not a fantastic experience, but you have successfully acquired 6 more or less intact Yeti pelts. I want to see a 1d20 from Semyon. Wait a second. Yes. Zoltan, once he gets to the far corner up here, does find what looks to be the Apes' treasure hoard, which is a pile of loose silver. A very large pile of loose silver.
Glad it wasn't something that would make me feel real bad.
Yes.
All right, we'll sack it.
Looking
at their tools, does it look like they are the ones who carved this tunnel?
Yes, it seems plausible.
Wow.
The tools are odd. They are... You're not sure how to describe them. They look like they were repurposed from some piece of... from decorative iron. The iron has been not forged, but apparently cast in unusual shapes, suggestive of vines and flowers, but the vines and flowers form a reinforcing structure between struts of iron, which were apparently wrenched wholesale from some larger structure.
Yeah, this is salvaged metal. So, perhaps they found it elsewhere inside these tunnels.
All right, Zoltan, toting all of the silver will be a effortful process. You may wish to recruit some of the rest of the gang.
Well, could I at least give it a shot?
Yeah.
All right. My weak baby aspect is not necessarily like all of my strength. Like I've got more strength in my body.
True. All right, you fill 5 of the... Let's see, how many would it... One sec.
Though I also probably would call back like, hey, treasure! I'm not dead!
Alright. You're able to fill all of your sacks, all of your 30-pound sacks with silver.
Oh, wow.
How many did you have?
5. I only brought 5.
Alright, well now you've got 150 pounds of silver coin.
Good God.
That is a lot of silver.
I think so.
I'm
I'm trying to remember how many.
$4.
Yeah, it's the system is a little that way, a little bit.
I can adjust the weight of coinage anytime if you let me, but we're not gonna, are we?
No. Okay. So,
How many actual silver pieces is it? I can't remember the ratio.
You think it's 2,600 silver pieces in total?
260 gold.
Yes.
That's not nothing.
okay.
It's logistically inconvenient. You may want to tote it all back up to the.
Yeah, we'll tote it up to the sled, real quick, and empty the sacks into some tarp. And we should bring whatever tarp is left with us on the way back. It's the time-consuming part of delving tunnels.
We gotta throw some snow over it so no one scoots away with the cart.
Yeah. All right. And then after we do that, do we want to go further down, or do we want to try the other way? The other way is where a lot of the water is flowing, right?
Yeah, the water is flowing all of the other directions that we found. Like there's 4 other directions, and it's all got water just spraying into it. We could at least look at the where I'm gesturing now, where I'm pinging.
Yeah.
We could look to see if it's at least possible to kind of like walk along it, like walk from dry spot to dry spot, or at least like if the water is only at like boot level, something like that. But even, like, it also falls 80 feet to get there, so it's going to be spraying as well.
Yeah.
But not as bad as
Um,
it's going to be the level down. Then it's going to have even more energy. But I guess another option might be this one because it also goes uphill. So at least we could like try to light another fire potentially. But oh man,
Yeah,
going
let's
another 50 feet down is gonna be
go.
awful.
Let's go down. I think
Hmm.
we'll clear the right side.
Swinging down here.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to use Zoltan as a stand-in.
Very well.
All right. Now, are you guys currently carrying the treasure, or are you going to take a moment to drop it off at the sledge?
We're gonna take a moment.
We'll drop it off at the sledge.
All right. While you guys are rigging up the first batch of silver to go up on the sledge, you hear a noise approach from this direction.
Oh. I alert the others.
You hear heavy sloshing footsteps churning through the ice. What do you do?
Can we array ourselves in some kind of battle formation to attack them as they come out?
Not with ease. If you stand here, you're in going to be real danger of getting pushed into the pit. If you stand here, you can fire on them, but you can't engage them in melee. And if you go all the way in,
is a good idea. That's just my opinion. I'm not the caller.
How many more phantasmal forces do you have?
1. I do have a web though.
Okay, let's.
I have so many spells.
Yeah.
Do you have a web, Monacan or Magnus?
I have 2.
Okay.
We also need to do due diligence and make sure they're enemies.
Yeah, let's try to. If it's coming this way already, let's kind of lay in wait, and if it makes it into a visible area, we can try to pin it down and cut off its escape.
all right.
Whatever you do, don't fall.
Okay. Brace your feet carefully on the slippery stone. The slope leads down into the pit. If you lose your footing, the pit waits you. Get you guys set up.
After this combat, we should totally tie off to each other.
Something to consider. Probably not like that. Probably more like this. Something like that. A brutish figure paces into the edge of your light. You immediately recognize it as a Yeti.
Oh.
I declare lightning bolt.
All right. Initiative is being rolled in. Okay.
Magic missile.
Oh. Hey, we're in water.
All right.
Everyone just jump at the same time when he casts it. We'll be fine.
Way ahead of you, buddy.
Wait, we're all in water?
No, you guys.
Oh, we're not in water.
You're actually.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
We are.
Okay.
We can electrify the whole pit.
Okay. Okay.
All right. You guys, the spellcasters react immediately, and I'm going to see an initiative check from Prodere to see how quickly the rest of you guys begin operating. Once again, a tie. Once again, it goes to the house.
Outstanding.
Wow.
All right. First,
yes.
movers and shooters.
Question, Richard. Seeing the familiar shape of Magnus's spellcasting, does it seem like the spell would destroy at least the rope on the pulley?
It will if he allows it to intersect the rope and the pulley, which is questionable.
Prodere will hold off attacking. He will move forward to secure the rope out of the way.
All right.
Does a 13 hit?
Yes, a 13 will hit. Go ahead and roll
I
that
mean-
damage then. I assume this is from Manakin's arrows.
Wait, you can make it start like right in front of him, right?
1 damage. I can make it start right above his head, and then
Okay,
aim it,
so
and
never
aim
mind.
it down into the ground.
All right.
Bouncing wildly.
It's a fairly difficult position to be shooting from, especially in the back ranks. The ceiling gets pretty low pretty fast. Okay. And of course there is the well, Praderi has already established he's using his turn to make sure the ropes is out of harm's way.
Well, I forgot that he can make it. It doesn't originate from Magnus. I forgot
oh,
about
okay.
that.
Right.
True. So the rope is in harm's way, potentially.
Never safe.
All
So
right.
he's gonna Tarzan across at us.
Actually, now that I think about it, yeah, it totally can. It's going to do
I mean,
exactly that.
crap.
Oh.
Crap!
Hello.
Helping or hurting?
It easily vaults across the gap and moves into point blank range. Not out of any sort of deep thought, just because it sees some guys that it wants to smash. It seems very confident in its footing.
Hit me with your best shot.
Well, Blorpert, did you take a shot in hand-to-hand combat? I don't think you shot an arrow, so I think you can stab this guy.
No, yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean,
Did
I'm also gonna give it a bonk.
yeah,
I'm not in front.
Simeon, did you use
What do you add to 10?
Yeah, I messed with my swing.
Okay.
well,
Yeah.
I mean, 12?
Ooh, not quite.
Not quite.
AC is
yeah.
13.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Ah,
Oh, wait,
do
maybe I
back
got my
with the
bonus at
nerd.
level 3.
Actually, yeah, at level 3 you do.
for fighter.
1,
Yeah,
2,
fighters get their
yep,
first +1 at level 3.
Nice.
So that's a 13.
That hits. Roll that damage.
It's D10 plus 2.
Pretty good.
10 damage.
Nice. The Yeti is struck solidly, and a spray of blood casts away from its body and runs away down into the pit. It roars in anger. What is it going to do? On its turn, it is going to attempt to... Okay, so it's going to attack Blorpert with its left hand, and it's going to attack Praderi with its right hand. And if it both hits with both, it's going to smash them together.
Lovely.
They're gonna have little birds and stars floating above their head like they're in a Three Stooges cartoon.
Oh, I'm waiting for what comes after it hits us. That's.
I
the
think
fun
it meant.
part.
I think it missed both times, unfortunately. I hit AC 13 for Blorpert and 16 for Praderi.
It does a big clap.
That does not hit me.
It probably shouldn't have tried to hot dog like that because you guys warded off fairly easily. Unfortunately, Magnus, it is now danger close. So before we resolve you, let's see if that magic missile takes it out.
Probably won't.
Probably won't. No. And
What do you mean before?
you take it
do.
out.
Really?
Well, you rolled. You rolled close to. Yeah, you
that's
rolled.
pretty good. Wait, I did that right? Yep.
Yeah.
Just send it off down the tunnel, Magnus.
Ah!
There's sure to be more of them.
Hell! Oh!
Oh.
It falls. It falls.
The loot!
It makes a
Wait,
resounding
One
thud.
Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, what's a Mississippi?
Bit of Mississippi.
Oh, what did we learn?
I don't know.
That's
Learn not to
less-
do it again. Don't know what we did.
All right, you are able to. Now that you have experienced your close encounter with the Yeti, what do you wish to do? Do you wish to continue to extracting? Do you wish to continue extracting the silver?
Yes, right?
yes.
Okay. You are not interrupted a second time. You spend about 20 minutes feels right for hauling up about 260 pounds of silver, right?
For cool guy adventurers who do this heroically, yes. If it was me, it would take about 8 times longer, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then once we do that, yeah, just make sure that the sled is innocuous, and then we will. Yeah, we will continue down, down the rope.
You rappel down further. You enter a loading screen.
Did you know gelatinous cubes are immune to lightning?
I was literally about to ask, what's our tooltip?
I'm going to ask you to keep coming up with those, and I'm going to give you experience points for them later.
I'm on it.
Pretty good.
If you press left bumper, I can give you another one.
All right.
All right. Sorry, one moment.
Oh yeah, the ambient music. Gotta turn that back on.
And thankfully, we'll be able to get rid of a little bit of weight once we get down here, as I'm sure we will have to dry off again.
Okay, so that's one. That's.
This time we'll use
Okay.
tarp to vent the smoke into the main shaft.
Works for me. The smoke billows upwards. You can see that water is flowing. More information I should share so quickly. Turn this off, turn that on. More water is flowing from this direction. So whatever flows in here eventually comes and flows out here.
Nice slippery death slide.
No, actually, no. That's the interesting thing. There's a little trench cut into the middle of the floor here, which allows the water to flow through.
Perhaps
Is there
we should
room on the
investigate.
sides to walk?
Say again?
Is there room on the sides of the trench enough to stand?
Yes, definitely. The trench is only about yay big.
Okay.
Very
Let's,
clearly an intentional aqueduct.
Okay. Let's deal with the tunnel first, and then we'll double back to that.
All right. 1 sec. Now it's actually properly to scale. It splits.
We have like about 40 minutes left, so I'm gonna get a little bit quicker. So
That's
if you
fine.
have any input or objection, just chime in, and
Go for it.
otherwise I'm gonna start driving.
All right.
Go for it.
This path splits into two directions, one which slopes up and one which slopes down. Do you wish to follow the left side which slopes up or the right side which slopes down?
Left.
All right.
Slope up.
You follow a slope up. It goes about 30 feet and an upward slope. I'm going to draw the other path here in the background.
Are
You
you
enter-
sure right is south?
No,
Okay.
I'm not at all sure.
Well, just
you-
continue.
Okay.
We'll work it out later.
You enter a very large chamber. It is a domed chamber that you can see. Rather, in the center of it, there's a sort of a mesa, which I will show you the profile of. The room is approximately 50 foot in radius. And as you approach, I need someone to roll for surprise.
Oh boy.
Okay.
6.
You are not surprised as you spy upon this, on top of this mesa in the center of the room. There are 4 familiar figures, which I'm going to shrinky-dinkify. Token, become small. Shrinky-dink. Hooyah! More Yeti. They stand atop the central. This is a structure that appears to be made of solid ice. They are apparently standing in guard of something. As you approach, they immediately begin throwing heavy stones at you, which they appear to have a significant reserve of. Do you wish to engage the fight, or do you wish to fall back? If you engage, they will be throwing stones at you. And to be clear, this is solid ice, and it is shaped like this, and it is 20 feet tall.
Yeah, let us retreat.
All right, retreat. Retreat.
All right.
God.
We would tweet.
Let's just leave that behind us. Just walk away from that.
All right.
I mean,
Stones
it seems
cascade
like
cascade down the hill,
situation for a
and hear the
lightning.
triumphal hooting of the Yeti.
Do you have another lightning bolt, Magnus?
Yes.
Oh, I figured
changes
between
things.
fly and lightning, that was it.
I'm using a 4th level slot for fly because I know no 4th level spells.
Sympathies.
I see.
That changes things. We have no way
promising.
of getting up there.
Monocle could conceivably.
I have fly,
Yeah.
but
I
I
have
don't have to
fly.
get up there to cast it. I just have to
Yeah.
start point where we can see the first guy.
Yeah.
All right, let's. That sounds like a plan.
Okay.
All right.
Some treasure up there.
Yeah. If we run out of this tunnel, they have no reason to pursue us. So yeah, let's. I feel like a bad idea. Let's attack until we find it necessary to retreat again.
All right.
So
1 second.
we'll press.
You destroyed 20 spell books.
Would I be that cruel?
The Library of
I-
Alexandria. It's
Yes,
here.
I would. I would be that cruel if I could find a way to make it really funny.
We already made
Well, actually,
the
no,
joke,
this seems
so
to
it
be-
can't get any funnier.
Needs to be significantly larger than that.
If you want, I could like rush up there and try to figure out what your backstop is. I mean, I'll probably get clobbered in the head, but I got some hit points.
Okay.
Um,
So
In
that's-
before, this is just how I die.
Yeah, it's not like you've never been clobbered in the head before.
I have absolutely. I've taken some. I've taken some hits. I can't really remember them too clearly though.
All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, whatever. This will do.
You just grab the rope from the pulley and just run with it behind them.
Just like
Okay.
literally clothesline them.
Return to normal size.
Not sure if I understand what exactly I'm looking at.
This is an overhead view again. So we're
Okay.
transitioning from
What's the smaller circle?
the smaller circle is the top of the mesa they are on.
Okay.
Oh.
To be clear,
Oh, it's all the way around. Okay.
yes.
Ah.
So they, I would like to at least peek up there and figure out what they're defending. Because maybe it's, like if
The
it's their
high
young or something, then that's not really treasure, you know? We could just leave.
The high ground, Anakin.
Well, you know that
the-
part.
as you're moving us, are there any interesting features of the ceiling above them? This is an icy place, yes?
Yes.
Seem a dome-like.
There appears to be another dome-like shape above them.
No juicy stalactites.
In fact, no. The ceiling looks to have been polished to a mirror finish.
Wow,
Interesting.
that's weird.
Very intentional.
They can see everything around them. I don't know.
I wonder if it'll reflect a lightning bolt.
Well, that will reflect the lightning bolt.
Okay. And from our... Okay, so... Big round room.
Leroy Jenkins.
Here we freaking go.
That's what I'm saying, man.
I think I should rush in and see what they're protecting. Because if it's nothing, we should just leave.
All right, well, let's roll initiative and see how that goes.
Okay.
Well, we rolled a 6.
All right,
hell
then
yeah.
that saves
that,
me some
Richard.
time. All right.
Sorry, is it the same roll as like when we were checking surprise? Is that the same roll or no?
No, that's
Okay,
it's a separate
so-
thing.
Slash roll
Here we go.
6.
All right.
Oh.
All right. So they are going to get a chance to clobber you with rocks before the round commences.
Hit me with your best shot.
They are planning to do exactly that.
My mouth's not full of blood. It's victory wine.
Let's find out. All right. So you barge in, Blorpert and Prederi immediately get a. Oh, sorry, Zoltan barges in.
Yeah, I want to go first. I want to take point. I want to get high up and figure out what they are defending.
Okay. So let's see how much they cream you. They each get to throw. Their huge rocks are going to be modeled effectively as their fists,
Oh, okay. Nice knowing you, boys.
but they only get the one shot each. And also, you're not going to get all the shots.
All right.
Okay, so the first 2 shots do, however, go for the fast-moving object running at them. What's your armor class?
Yeti fists.
Less than that. 15.
All right. Well, Zoltan flies in quickly and then it rapidly catches a rock the size. I don't know. Like he gets hit with 2 melons made of solid stone.
Oh, my teeth.
He takes 9 points of damage in total.
Okay.
And then subsequently there is a shot against Blorpert, which hits AC 8, and a shot against Prederi, which hits AC 12.
Yeah, that was not too shit.
Yes.
Well, do I at least see what's up there, and then I can divide it by 2 to reflect my concussion?
Yes. You see that there are 8 Yetis and 2 marble sarcophagi, which
Whoa.
appear to be set onto plinths.
Ooh.
Okay, so there's treasure.
Your mouth is full of victory wine.
Are we assuming that I already declared lightning bolt?
Sorry.
Uh,
Yes.
What are these
I kind of
Yetis
was,
doing?
Yes. I mean,
It's a
the
trick.
plan was to do lightning bolt. So yeah, if we were going to declare, if you had remembered to ask to declare spells, then you would have said lightning bolt. So yes.
I mean,
Well, it's up to Richard.
Hang on a second. I want to see what Ross is on about. Hit me, Ross.
no, I can't stop the conspiracy theories. What are they guarding their aunt's ashes up here? Why are 4 Yetis up here on a pillar, just like next to some chests? What's happening?
It's Gygaxian. It's positively Gygaxian.
Well,
I wish it was.
love
I
that.
actually have ideas about everything that's happening. There's
That's-
not.
I'm
Listen,
terrified.
I have terrible news. Gygaxian actually means Gygaxian realism.
Yeah,
Gygax was the sort of guy who would think about where do these guys get food?
Actually,
where do
it's-
they get water?
no, it's
where does the
very-
food and
it's
water
very-
come
Let's
from?
go.
Anyway, yes.
Let's go. Let's
Okay.
go.
Okay. Prederi, are you going to try to climb up the 20-foot?
Prederi is running forward. He is sheathing tube sword. He is pulling out his hand axe by which he will use to help himself climb.
That rules. All right, I love that. All right, so
Just kind of Sonic the Hedgehog up there.
Prederi is Sonic at the Hedgehog. Give me
Shield-
your 1d20. I want
Shield
to see
like
how,
above.
roll me a 1d20. I want to see how wacky this gets.
Big numbers, big numbers.
I don't
Prederi
want to kill you.
is absolutely ice axing his way straight up this 20-foot slope.
Also, yeah, there
I
is
don't
going to
wanna
be a
kill
lightning
you.
bolt occurring in that vicinity.
Yeah, it's
Used to it.
Prederi. He's used to it. All right. So that's moving and shooting. So they shot. Who else is anyone else shooting and or moving?
Can
Just
Monacan see anybody from the
Yeah,
angle?
he can see this guy, and he can see this guy, and he can see this guy.
I keep thinking there's a way to go defensive.
I'll
I'm
shoot.
also trying to be like the juiciest target for them.
Yeah.
Is there,
I
I
mean,
can't remember if in
this is a
this system
sling.
there's any way to go defensive if you're not attacking.
No.
Unfortunately, there isn't. I've
Right,
complained
okay.
about this to Ross before.
Okay, then I'm doing nothing. I took a hit anyway, so even if I had declared a spell, it would have fizzled.
Monacan does 2 damage
All right.
to some dude in the front.
Ooh,
Was 12.
this guy catches
12
an
hit?
arrow in the knee. Unfortunately, his adventuring days are far from over. All right, and it looks like Blorpert hits at least once, and gets the other guy. Catch it. The fur absorbs most of the impact, but it does land. All right.
I'm going to position myself in between Magnus and potential rocks using Richard's spell sniping rules,
All right, sounds good.
or anti-spell sniping rules, more specific.
Yes, I do remember that is a specific thing, which I have rules for. Actually, hang on, so let me scribble the little tomb guy here real fast, just so that we know its approximate location. All right. So that's they moved and shot. You guys moved and shot. Melee range. This guy can't. They've already moved and shot, so they can't do anything. But this guy's clearly getting ready to step on Predare on the next turn. Now spells go off.
Okay.
And we'll go ahead and roll saving throws for my boys.
Pretty poor damage on that one.
Only that low.
18.
I think that's technically dead even, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's half damage.
Yeah. I want to see a 30. It's as simple as that.
We all want to see a 30.
Well, I've got great news. Most of them blow their saving throws. So going to go left to right. This one survives. He passes his test.
Okay, so he
This
takes
guy
some out.
takes a lot.
21 would be dead even. You have to remember that it is half of.
Yeah,
Six,
it,
three, four,
21
five.
is the average. 18 is half
Okay.
potential damage.
The lightning arcs through the air, fills the air with a cacophonous boom. The entire place rings like a dinner glass. None of the Yetis fall, but all of them spit blood. As does hang on a second. I'm gonna go ahead and remove some of Zoltan's hit points. Zoltan coughs up some pennies.
Keep those; they're worth money.
They're not.
He explodes into a bunch
Oh.
of rings like
I did
Sonic.
not mean to
That's a different character class. All right, we will now. Before we roll initiative for the next round, does anyone want to roll? Does anyone cast a spell?
I would like to declare Cure Light Wounds.
Alrighty.
Web. Or no, Magic Missile.
Okay.
Phantasmal Force.
Alrighty.
Awesome.
Okay. We shall now roll initiative. I roll a 2.
And I'll try to duck a little bit back behind the front line this time.
You wait your turn.
Oh, sorry.
He might roll a 1, and then I might get to hit you with another stick, but I don't. Okay, so you guys move and shoot first. If you want to move, move. If you
I'll
want to
duck
shoot,
back
shoot.
here.
All right.
Taking shoots.
Lorpert, the
Let's
angel
see
hides
again.
behind you.
Stemian's just taking wild shots here.
Am I able to make it onto the mesa?
Yes, but... Yes, you're going to be able to do that before they stomp on you, which is going to be pretty important here.
Okay. Then I will do that, and it's not great positioning, but hit me with the web. Or no, I'm sorry, web is a descent. I'm gonna stay right here.
Actually, yeah. Remember, the range of web is 30 feet, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna double check Phantasmal Force.
Verify that.
All right, Phantasmal Force has enough range, though. Oh, I can
Yeah,
tackle
the
from-
range of web is 30 feet. Your current position is probably not going to do. It depends what you want to do with your web, but I'm not sure. But most of the things that I would imagine that you would want to do with your web, I don't think you can do from your current position. Is Magnus here?
Sorry, yes. What's up? Say again.
The range of your web is 30 feet, so bear that in mind.
I'm not doing web. I'm doing magic missile.
Oh, right. Okay, that's fine then.
Okay, then yeah, I forgot about that. So yeah, in that case, then yeah, Perderi would push. Dang it, wrong thing. Token. He will push here.
Alrighty. Alrighty. It looks like Blorpert's shots were unfortunately not solid, and neither were Monakan's. Alright, so they move and shoot. These guys move into flank Perderi. Actually, no. This guy moves forward. This guy moves to flank Perderi, and
Oh no, the perfect size. Can you guys tell that I thought this through really well?
all right.
Right
No,
where
these
I
guys are
want
gonna keep
you,
throwing.
all around me.
I mean, they're not throwing rocks
Exactly.
anymore.
Yeah. Okay. So these two are going to be dealing with Perderi. These two are going to keep throwing rocks.
Aww.
Please. Okay.
I'm not trapped in here with you.
All right. So this Yeti is going to attack first for 1d20 plus 5. 6. So that is going to absolutely cream Sindarin
Oof.
as he
Uh-oh.
takes a shot from Magnus. 6 points of damage to Sindarin.
Done.
Is he alive?
Oh,
Yeah,
easy.
Sindarin's tough. Okay. His spell does
Level
fizzle.
5, bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Blorpert,
Oh yeah.
Ross,
Uh-huh.
catch!
No. Lorpert, no.
Blorpert gets brained for 2 points of damage.
That's
Fortunately,
not too bad.
He's very solid.
Yeah.
He's a very wide man. All right. So that is the moving and shooting phase. Now, melee
Had a
combat
great breath.
phase. Okay. Perderi, you are the only character in melee combat. Who are you going to attack?
The one in the back.
This one here? All
This
right,
one.
take the shot. AC 13.
No.
Oh, no good. Okay.
Are they one hit die? No, I'm kidding. All right, continue.
They are unfortunately not one-hit die creatures. All right. So Perderi is targeted by 2 distinct Yetis. They are going to now beat the bejesus out of. What is your armor class?
It is 18. I can parry to 19.
All right. So treated is
And I
effectively
have the
19.
aura.
Wait, does he
Or
parry
I don't
all of them, or can he parry one?
You can parry
Any
all of
melee
them.
attacks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right. Perderi, I have fantastic news. You escape the horrendous consequences of them completely defeating you, despite getting a flanking bonus. They only hit 1 time
Oh.
That's some AC.
for 6 damage.
Hmm.
I can only imagine how fantastic Perderi's defensive technique appears from down there. If only anyone could see it behind the big Yeti.
It's pure chaotic. It's just there's no time to think. He's just
Wait,
reacting.
right?
It's chaos.
I'm attempting to maintain line of sight at him for reasons. Is this possible?
Not really from down there. No,
Not even just like
honestly.
the top of his head. Damn.
No. There's too much Yeti in the way, man.
Hmm.
Sorry. All right. Now spells are going off.
Perderi explodes.
Is that the
In pretend.
All right. All right. I'm going to roll
Love
saving
it.
throws.
That was his plan all along, was to explode.
All right.
Dang, that made some. Oh, okay, half
Hey.
and half. That's not bad.
I'm going to give them a +1 bonus to their saving throws on the ground. That is very silly.
Oh,
But you still nail 2 of them. And I'm going to say that the 2 which survive are the 2 which are not paying attention to Perderi, since they're not easily caught up in the effect. The 2 in back are taken into effect. Roll damage.
7
okay.
damage.
Okay, this one thinks he's dead, and this one also thinks he's dead.
All right. I should have thought of something more plausible, but it just seemed really good.
It was certainly funny. Okay, these two guys are incapacitated. These Yeti are surprised to find out that their homies have not yet pulled this upstart little biped in half. And then the magic missile goes off. Okay.
All right,
You gotta
13
attack
to
the
that
one on the left
front,
or the one on the right?
one on the right.
Okay. He is precisely obliterated. He turns around to look at Praderi, and
Outstanding.
Praderi catches a spray of blood as a tiny hole erupts in the creature's torso, and it sort of staggers in surprise and then flops back and slides down that long tube. Actually, you know what?
It's like a 300 blackout
does he
from
hit
100
us?
yards away.
I'm about to decide. Ross, even or odd?
Odd.
All right. It
Uh-oh.
slides down and topples and
Okay.
thumps into the side. You guys do not have to deal with an incoming Yeti today. All right. And the sole surviving Yeti makes a morale check. He squeals and tries to leap away on his turn.
Oh, dang it, on his turn.
Yes.
I got a little grim to
No, that's fine. That would have missed anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Praderi catches it by the, just shaves a few hairs off of it as it scampers away and runs down a passage to the north, or to the whichever way this is.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, are we gonna roll initiative?
Yes, let's roll initiative. Should give you a chance to take it
anyone
out.
doing spells?
Anyone doing spells? They are definitely retreating.
No.
I will pursue and try to magic missile them, if possible.
Which way are they running?
To the there is apparently a passage on the opposite side.
All right, I will try to run them down and maintain a line of sight and obliterate them.
Alrighty.
Jerry will also try to chase it down.
It's
But,
probably fine if it
so
escapes, but I'm just it
Only
hit me
one
in the face.
spell, rolling initiative. That's a 2.
All right. I go
now they-
first.
All right.
It scampers away. How fast is this thing? Actually, it's very fast. And how fast is a Zoltan?
Oh, I haven't had to answer that. I haven't had to think about that in a while. Maximum fly speed 180 feet.
All right.
Wow.
You do successfully run it down and zap to the death. We'll go with that.
Okay. Did I roll?
Yes. Don't roll garbage. Actually, I don't think you can fail to kill it. So yeah,
Does
it's
it 12 work?
also obliterated.
But just like minutely, so the pelt is okay, right?
Of course.
All
I totally thought ahead.
right. So you guys have successfully conquered this chamber.
Okay. Sarcophagi, Monakin. You're up.
Monakin, our sarcophagi.